It is only January, and I think I might have found the figure of 2026. Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of the show. Today we're taking a look at the LPZZ Batman Arkham Knight Deathstroke. Now this one just came out. I purchased this one from 5K Toys, and he cost about $75. Now I had to pay $15 a few months back to put a deposit on this guy, and then I had to pay the balance the other day. Just came in the mail from FedEx, so let's do a quick review of this figure. Breaking out the packaging, there is a piece that fits behind this one, and it has the base and a very good looking machine gun and the little tassels on the back of his helmet there. They went all out with all the different hands, all the different swords, the staff, the weapons. Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on him. So here is the figure out of the package, and I don't know, guys. I kind of stand by what I said at the beginning of the video. This might be, and it's early on, but this might be the figure of 2026. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like we always do, let's start off by taking a look at all the accessories this guy comes with, because he comes with a crap ton. First off, he has this amazing Slade Wilson head without the mask. I mean, just look at the detail on that. That is phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Paint job is on point. The sculpt is on point. The hair, everything. I mean, it is 1/6 scale quality in 1/12 scale style. Look at that guy. Man, that is absolutely cool. Here is his bow staff and an extender piece. Now, there's a lot going on with this because, you know, in the video game, he does use this a lot. So to do this, it does come apart like this, but you also have to take off the ends to really get the whole full extension on this guy. And I think this part comes out too. Maybe so. Maybe it goes in like that. The other end goes like that. And then which part comes out? That comes out. Oh, how does this work? How does this work? We're figuring it out on the fly here. Maybe like that. Yeah, I think so. Now, when you do this, I mean, that's a pretty long staff. It's a little pliable there because there's a lot of like small plastic, and it's not very sturdy. It's pretty bendy right there in the middle. And I'm not going to display it. Actually, I'm not going to display him at all with this. This is probably going back in the package. I'm just showing you what this looks like. Comes with a couple of different swords. These, look at the details on the swords. Good Lord. I mean, the paint job on the sword is excellent. Look at that. Look at just the detail on the blade itself. Man, that's quite good. This one, I'd like this one a little bit better. Check the detail out on the handle on that guy. That is great. Here's the gas-powered grapple gun. I think it's a grapple gun, or I can't remember. There's something in the game that this thing does. It's pretty specific to the game. I'm, again, not going to display him with this. It's going to go back in the package, but just to give you a look at it, you can see it's pretty accurate to the game. Comes with a little bitty knife here, but you can see even on the edge, the blade of it, how they have the different color on there. I dig that, but that will go in. I'm sure there's a sheath or something on Deathstroke. We'll see where this will go. Comes with a pistol. This is pretty generic pistol. Nothing special about it. I mean, sculpt is actually good on it. There's no two-tone paint or anything like that. Here's a machine gun, a two-tone paint on this. This stuff's made out of pretty good plastic. Not the stuff you'll get from McFarlane, of course, because this is a high-end figure. Look at it. Details on point. Now, he comes with a ton of hands. I mean, a ton of hands. You have 6 pairs of hands with this figure. Let's get an up-close look at this guy. Just look at the head right here. I did go ahead and I put the little tassel or whatever you want to call it. Now, the one thing I will say is it's not the easiest thing to put in. Look at the edge on it, and it's not that the hole is not all that big in the back of the head, so it's not like it snaps in. And plus, I'm afraid that I'm gonna break it by putting any pressure on it. The way that it's kind of split right here, and the way I'm trying to grab it and just kind of plop it in there, I'm scared any kind of force, too much force, and I'm gonna break it. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it as is right there. But looking at the detail on this, the detail on this guy is bananas. It is just absolutely bananas. Now, the one thing I do see, the butt looks a little iffy. He just doesn't have much of a butt, but I'm sure that's because of the way this thing's articulated to get him to move in certain positions. He just kind of flat there on the back end. But look at the sculpt on the legs. All the buckles, everything's individually painted. I mean, nothing, even the two-tone on the boots themselves, the gray here, the black there. I mean, they did not leave anything. They didn't do anything mediocre with this figure at all. Look at the grenade here, or the smoke bomb, whatever it is, right there. I mean, everything is just on point. I don't know that I've ever seen a figure that's on point like this, other than the InArt 1/12 scale Bale Dark Knight Batman. I mean, that looks fantastic too, but this is just great. Look at the shoulder pads, the shotgun shells over here, individually painted. Oh gosh, that is just excellent. Excellent. Now, I don't see anywhere on this guy to put that knife that I was talking about earlier. He has a holster for his pistol, which we'll just go ahead and stick that in there, because he needs to look good, and it fits fairly well in that holster. Look at that moves pretty good. Which one should we put in? This one, maybe? We're gonna stick a cool knife in there. Oh, it goes in quite well. Oh, gosh, I am just flabbergasted by this figure. That's not a word I use lightly, folks. Now, no holes in feet, so you're not going to stick him on a peg, but he does have a clip on the base, so no worries there. You got a base that'll hold him. So let's take a look at the articulation on this guy. As far as his head goes, his thing fell off there. You can see twist all the way around. Oh man, he has got excellent movement on that head. Check that out. Wow, just excellent movement, and the neck moves too, so the neck can go forward. No chest movement at all. That's total neck movement. That's him looking up. Just, oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I keep saying oh man, but as you know, when I review these, it's first impressions as they come out of the box, and I'm just super impressed with this figure. As far as the arms go, he's going to get about that much, but I do believe, you have these shoulder pads and they move up and down, and this part moves too, so it's like a double shoulder pad kind of thing, just to give him more room to maneuver. I think he could actually go higher if it wasn't for these, but does he have like a butterfly effect there? Yes, he does have a butterfly shoulder to move back and forth as well. Now, there is a cut right here, but there's a lot going on. I don't know how much of a bend we're going to get out of this, because as you can see, these straps go from the chest piece all the way down to the belt. Let's see if we're going to get this. Oh wow, I mean, still, even with that, he can bend over that much. Now, not so much backwards. That's about, I'm afraid, without messing something up, that's about as far backwards as I'm going to get. But with the neck being the way it is, I mean, you can really get him to look up, so no worries there. Now, he does turn at the waist, but again, this figure's got a lot going on, and as I'm doing that, some of the stuff's already starting to unbutton here, like the belt pieces, which, yes, they look really good, but I'm not a fan of those belt pieces that have those little bitty tiny buttons, because of issues like that. They just pop off really, really easy, so I don't really like that. Now, he has 360 arm swivel. He's got double jointed elbows, and again, you're not getting as much movement out of that just because of the gauntlets or the shoulder pads and the armor on his forearm, so not a lot there, but still it's not bad at all. Hands all have all that ball motion rotation, so you're going to get a lot of movement out of that. Splitsies, pretty decent. Everything said, again, the belts and stuff like that are going to keep him from going as high as he probably could. He can do a better split this way than he could out to the side. I mean, look at that. It's almost flat, and that's partly because the butt is non-existent, right? So the butt kind of folds up and goes back to allow him to get this position. He's got some rotation here at the thigh, and I'm trying to, yeah, that is some articulation there. I was trying to determine if it's just the armor on the outside moving, but it's actually because the whole piece is moving with it. And then at the hip itself, there's still a little bit of movement at the hip that you can get out of it outside of this rotation here. He definitely has pretty decent double jointed knees. You can see he can almost kick his own butt, and if he had a butt, he would probably touch it. Feet rotation, ankle rotation is all there, all good, nice movement. Toe articulation, which I've never really been a fan of, but on this you might be able to get some pretty good poses with that toe articulation in place. So a lot of the armor is loosey-goosey on this guy just to give him movement, to allow him movement. Like, take a look at that. These boot guards kind of go up and down to give you movement. The shoulder pads move. The knee pieces are in place, so are the shin guards. The chest piece doesn't move. With the articulation this guy has, the different hands, the different weapons, you could really get some unique poses out of this guy. So much so, I don't know that you can get poses like this out of any other DC figure that I have seen with this kind of accuracy, because, folks, he is amazing. So I just figured something out about this thing. When I was having trouble putting this in earlier, I didn't realize, but there is this little black piece right here that sits inside the Deathstroke head. And I went to pick it up to put it back on the figure for another shot, and this piece fell out, and I was like, with that out, I wonder if I could get that in better. And sure enough, yes. The hole opens up without this in there. You can pop that in and it stays. So just to give you a little scale perspective with this guy, here is the InArt Dark Knight Batman figure, which is another 1/12 scale figure, but you can see Deathstroke is a lot taller than that figure. There is a Batman Returns Catwoman figure, which is way bigger, way taller than Deathstroke. There is the Fonjoy Superman figure. You can see he is a lot taller as well. And here is the Batman and Robin figure from Beast Kingdom. So I know not all of these were 1/12 scale figures, but I'm trying to give you a look at what these guys look like together. So what do you think of Deathstroke from LPZZ? Is he your 2026 Figure of the Year nominee so far? Leave your comments below. Let me know exactly what you think. With that out of the way, check out DCCollectors.com each and every day for the latest DC Comics action figure news. You can find me on Instagram at DC Collectors. Check out the Facebook group, McFarlane DC Multiverse. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. I sure would appreciate it. And as always, God bless.